Someone has to dodge the bullet, and today it's gonna be the dogs. And being completely lonely because none of them are hearing you or seeing you. Be silent. Don't disturb your brothers. Go in your room. Stay quiet. I would still have been the one having the encounter with the snake, so I would still be alone in this experience. Do I choose to be lonely to protect myself or to allow healing? I wanted to say, do I want to move forward with people around me? Isn't it gorgeous? Yes, it is. The other teammate dodged the bullet this morning at getting all the dogs inside their shelter. It's a closed space, so they're happy. They have a bit of time out from time to time. They come back at the kitchen. Remember, I offered them asylum at the beginning, so they kind of remember sometimes. We are so happy for them. Yay. Look, someone has to sacrifice themselves. The dog can. The chicken has been in lockdown for 6 days, almost a full week. So, someone has to dodge the bullet, and today it's going to be the dogs. I don't know about you and about your cat, but Onyx, that's what she does. When she wants to be more a pet, she's gonna lift up her bottom and she's gonna cling it to my legs, to my thigh, as a sign of more. I want more. Again. Don't stop. In today's topic conversation, what is the difference for me between being lonely and being alone? You have the human aspect and you have everything else aspects. Everything else includes, for me, Onyx. It happens when I am extremely taken by sadness and that I'm crying and that I really want and that I really need to have comfort. It's just, she has never been the cat that will do, hugging or being with me like all the time or sleeping. So even if she sees me pouring out, crying, she's not going to come. And in that moment, I know that I am not alone. She's with me, but I will feel lonely. Because lonely will mean that I do not receive love and conditional love. This is being alone. Just me as a human being, and there is no other human having that walk with me. Do I feel lonely? Not really. If I open my mind, and I do, if I open my soul and my heart, and I do, I see insects, I see butterflies and dragonflies, and I hear birds. I can hear the wind blowing the tree leaves. I can hear the silence, as indeed silence has just fell down. This is a strange feeling, talking about loneliness and being lonely, when being used to hear the wind in the tree branches, or the birds, or the insects, or even sometimes feeling the buzz of the energy. And when it quiet, when it stops, suddenly it's like this weird feeling of I am alone. There is no one else. It's like as if the energy of Gaia has suddenly stopped, shut down. It's easy to feel it when, just like me, you are sensitive to energy. I appreciate loneliness. And most of the time, I seek loneliness. Is it because I prefer it to not being hurt, not being disappointed, just like I had experienced most of my life, and especially the time that I spent at Playa? I don't think I know that it's not an escape for me. It's more like a going home feeling. When I am alone, there is this quietness, this silence that I can hear, and that is so much healing. I know that you have experienced the same thing, that you can have one other people around, or a small group, a handful, or a big group, and being completely lonely because none of them are hearing you or seeing you, right? You experienced it. I did. Many times. And if the many times happen, maybe it is part of the life lessons. And or maybe this is part of the contracts. That it's never supposed to be better, to be more profound. Just like in the movies, having a group of friends that you are so close, whether it's men or women, it doesn't matter, but you have other beings and you are always gathering and doing things together and sharing things and talking. I wished for such an experience for so long. And it's the first time in my life that I do not wish to experience it. Not that I resigned, but more like I do not feel the need at the moment to experience it. When I grew up, it was mostly me. I had 2 brothers, older than me, 5 years older and 8 years older. And they never had the time for me to play, to get attention. It was more, be silent, don't disturb your brothers, go in your room, stay quiet. It was an early base time for me to explore what it feels like being alone and being lonely. I experienced loneliness at a very early age, mixed with the feeling of being alone. And sometimes the boundary can be very blurry, difficult to make a separation. Sometimes it feels exactly the same thing, just like this part of the forest. Just like this stone structure. It is the only one here, so it's lonely. And it's alone. Does it missing other humans to be there, to live inside, or to do something around? What it is and what does it feel to be alone and to be lonely? How to deal with the fact that you are alone. That when you need support, when you need help, when you need someone to hold you in your arms and to tell you that they are loving you with genuine honesty, when they are making you laugh just to make you forget because they don't know how to help, so at least this is what they are doing. Some sort of help. Being present. Not so long ago, someone asked me before coming in the jungle, Am I bitter? Is it a purposeful choice to not mix myself with others for activities, doing things, and without a shadow of a doubt, I said absolutely not. Am I disappointed? Absolutely. Can I do something about that? I can let it go and accept the fact that they are people are on their own journey and they have their own understanding of the truth and they are moving forward, taking action or responding according to what the definitions are for them, that I should not expect others to be like me. First, because there is really only one like me. My hope is there is someone, at least one other being existing on the planet that cares as much as I do and responding and caring and supporting each other. But I haven't met that person yet. So in the meantime, and I am on my healing journey, I need to stay focused on me. And this is part of that loneliness or of being alone. I am alone at walking this healing path, this understanding of life, of the truth, of how to move forward, how to heal. None of it is easy. I am surrounded by billions of people, and yet I haven't felt that lonely in my entire life since I started to ask for support and for help, since I started to ask to be seen and to be heard. I think that this is part of rejection from others. When you start to push at wanting to be seen, to be heard, to express that you exist, and I know you feel like this, just like me, this is an action that starts to disrupt a bit others, but to force them at seeing things that they don't want to see about themselves. That they're not ready to change, to improve, or they're not ready to heal, or whatever that is. It doesn't really matter. It's just that at the end of the day, when you start to be more and more your true self and you act and ask to be seen and heard, there's a good chance that you are going to get closer and closer from that loneliness. So it doesn't mean that you have to choose between being lonely and being alone. I think that we are always alone, no matter what. You know, at the beginning, when I came here at the jungle and I experienced the scorpions in the loft at night, or when I had the encounter with the snake in the bathroom, of course, I was shaking up. I was the one having the experience, but that's my point. Even if at that moment there would have been another team member on the ground, I would still have been the one having the encounter with the snake, so I would still be alone in this experience. And even if another team member would have been standing next to me and seeing at the same second the snake, we would have a different reaction. We would experience it differently. And in that matter, we would have experienced that encounter alone. So we are always alone. But the thing is, are we always alone and lonely? There is definitely a path and a choice at maybe I choose to be lonely. So then there is a next stage of question. Do I choose to be lonely to protect myself or to allow healing, a deeper healing? Like I take myself out of the equation and I really put myself into a natural environment of bubble of protection so I can go deeper into healing. Or do I just try to escape and to forget that the world, this physical world that I said twice now is killing me, that I want to forget that it exists? So does that mean that I choose that loneliness because I cannot deal with that world and I'd rather stay alone and lonely and not being heard? Yeah, probably. Probably after all of this disappointment that I went through at being around people and asking and having experienced indifference and rejection and silenced. Coming here in this bubble of protection, but remember that I am still cautious, fearless, but cautious about the wildlife existing here. And I felt that deeply. I felt like, oh no, girl, you need to go there. You need to heal from what you went through. But I had to went through that. I had to experience how it feels to be surrounded by human beings and at the same time to be completely lonely, to bring a different perspective of nowadays humanity, a different perspective on myself, on my journey of how do I feel, how do I see others, how do I want to move forward with having people around me. I wanted to say, do I want to move forward with people around me? Well, apparently not that much. But there is another human being since last week. I think it's gonna be a week that another team member is back. But it's not like we are 24/7, together and doing things. But still, I do not mind. But I think for me, it was always the too many, the too much people dealing with their energy, with their chaotic, with their self-centered, with their lies, with playing games that I've never understood. Why playing games? Why not just being? Well, because it's easier to play a game rather than facing who you truly are, becoming who you truly are, embracing it. You know how tough it can be. So the conversation about being lonely or being alone is not a one video discussion because it goes in so many directions and it's such a deep one. And since I am not scripting my videos, because I do not want to go into the rabbit hole of not being authentic. It's not me if I have to write down everything, if I have to repeat, like kind of remember by heart what I'm going to say and which direction. To think about a little bit of this or that, I understand, but the more it's just taking all the fun away. It's not allowing to show the vulnerability, just like sometimes when I am tired or stressed out, I'm gonna start to make some mistakes at speaking English. I'm not gonna be as vulnerable as I would like to show, as being raw, as really showing how it is and how it is for me. It is not gonna be as authentic, but that's my choice. This is how I choose to deal and to show myself to you, to share it with you. Because when I talk to you in each of those videos every day, I just feel like it's the same as if it would be with, if I still had a best friend. I don't know about you, but I'm pretty sure you're the same as me, that when you are with your best friend, do you script? What do you plan to say and how are you going to say things? It's going to come up the way that it's going to come up. It's going to be messy, but that's how it is of being yourself or being myself with you. I may be lonely. I am alone at this very moment here, but life is buzzing around me. So you can click the subscribe button, because first you're going to help me reach the 200 subscribers, which it's more than time to reach and to go beyond. You can click the video on the like button as well, even to share, even if you want to save, to go back and listening again of me rambling about lonely and alone, because sometimes it can be tough to really wrap and understand, and it's nice to go back afterwards and listening again. You can leave some comments, share what is your thought about the difference between lonely and being alone. What is the difference for you on your path right now? Whatever the path is, wherever you are in the spectrum of awakening, it doesn't matter. If you want to learn more about this whole journey of videos, you can click on the link down below in the description about episode 1 and episode 2 in this beautiful space that I am very grateful to be stay in and to experience the healing, because I am allowing the healing to happen. I'm going to leave you there, leave you in the thoughts of that difference, and to sink in and to think about it, or maybe to keep exploring if you have already started. No matter what, even if you are looking at it by yourself, know that you are not alone. It's always up to us to be lonely or not, or how much lonely we want to be, or for how long. Loneliness can be healing. And nowadays, I need some loneliness, but not 100%. I need and I appreciate to have others around. So just drop a heart in the comments, and I'll see you next time.